I'm going to talk about the different narrative structures in the film, and especially I'm going to focus on the final shot, how films end. First of all, I'd like to say that there are two main structures. The first one is a five-act structure, which divide into five different channels, each segment called the act. The first act is exposition, the second is rising actions, such as climax, then falling action and resolution. It's a simple structure contains the beginning, middle, and the end. Another is a plot diagram, which allows to pick out the major theme of the story. The first part of the beginning divides into two parts, exposition and conflict. Then the middle of the story contains the rising action and climax, and then is divided by falling action and resolution. Overall, there are some standards to make a narrative structure, but the narrative structure is a simple representation of the story, and that's why you can deviate from some rules and use our imagination in order to make something interesting. I do an accent on the ending of the film. Usual films end with a resolution based on simple narrative structures, but some directors prefer to make their films more interesting, and films can be finished with a climax or even with a beginning. One director uses flashback. Like the final sentence of a novel, the closing image of a film has the power to color the entire narrative. A chord just a little bit louder than everything that has come before it. Film Nightcrawler has a simple structure from the beginning to the end, and films finish with a resolution. After the climax point, structure is increasing and led to conclusion. The last shot of the film finished with the night city and its logical conclusion connected with the resolution of the film. It shows again that Lou made their own company, and this scene shows that the new company starts to work. This is a dolly shot comes up, and then extremely long shot when the audience can see two cars go to the different even seems endless roads. The director decreases the tension at the end, left the audience with a smooth, calm shot and with a hope for future of the company. This is smoothest car to the moon. Film Billy Elliot even has a more traditional structure. It's a consistent structure with a falling action and then resolution, and it's a plot diagram. The scene finishes with Billy jumping across the stage, and then with anti-editing technique, story turns to the beginning of the story, showing how Billy jumps when he was a child. It's a flashback to his childhood, and it could be a metaphor of dream and grand comparison him through the years. This is jump through the years. It symbolizes his dream, how high he can jump up. This is another time of how a director can finish the film. Just return to the beginning, and it's not only the flashback but a small background. Also, the opening and last scene are the same in the film. Thus, the audience can make a connection between past and present. Film 400 Blows also has a simple narrative structure plot diagram. The film has a logical order. The last shot is pretty long, without cuts. The camera follows the character, and then at very end, video quickly changes to the photo of his face. First of all, the camera goes quickly, then he runs, and he is not in the middle of the frame. But then camera change show he's running with more power and speed when he close to the sea. And the camera follows him from his background, and that's why he outruns the camera. The audience quickly changes the shot from long to close up, which allows the audience to look at his face, at his eyes. This scene is metaphorical and represents the freedom by the sea and long shirts. Film Vertigo has a plot diagram structure. I mix the fallen action with the resolution because both of them add each other and form the ending of the film. The last scene is long and without cars, but it's not longer than 400 blows. The light is so dark it transfers the atmosphere and shows the tragedy. This is a dolly shot pulling out. Director left the audience with the main character who stands on the roof and look down and then cut. And we never know, does the main character fall down from the roof or come back to home. Three Colors Blue has an ordinary structure plot diagram with consistent patterns. Resolution is a summary of the film, but he is not the only resolution in terms of narrative, but also it's a resolution for Julie. The final scene is close to her face. She's crying, and at the very end, we can see a small transient smile on her face. Moreover, the scene is full of blue light, which highlights her face and once again makes the audience to remember the true meaning of a color. Her smile at the end probably means that she overcame some difficulties and life is not going to end. She should live despite everything. Film Lost in Translation has also a diagram structure. The resolution comes from the climax, so structure has patterns. Overall, the final shot in the film shows the Tokyo and the car going to the airport. Here's a dolly shot. Also, the final scene consists of different shots changing each other in order to show different elements and aspects of Tokyo. Director decides to make the end scene with shots of the city because the city is main setting and motive of the film. Chinatown has a more complicated structure. It looks as a 5-act structure. Conclusion goes from the following action. The last shot is pretty long, and I can compare it with the length of the last shot in the film 400 Blows. This shot is without cuts, and that's why explains what's going on very clear. It shows the connection with previous points of the narrative. Here are long dialogues, which is responsible for the life of main character. Also, it's close up to their face in order to keep the connection between the audience and dialogues of the actors. Even the guitarists say no words, he just look at the place of tragedy, but camera focus on him. The director didn't use a cut, he prefers to use two men who cross the camera and take away guitar from accident place. After they left, Chinese people start to cross the road, and then it's dolly technique. So the director made a clear resolution in the final shot. Whiplash is also a 5-act structure with a resolution at the end. The film doesn't have an easy structure. The climax is closer to the beginning than to the middle. The resolution goes after the raising action. The climax could be presented as an own story with inciting incident, climax and resolution. The last scene is not too long but pretty clear in order to understand what's happened next. Fletcher gives Andrew a sign to play, and then camera goes to Andrew, it's Dolly also. Director keeps the tension during the whole film, and even at the end, I feel the power of music at the end when Andrew plays. Film Still the Water can be presented as a diagram structure with consecutive patterns, or even I did another one which contains two parallel lines of two main characters, which sometimes bond together and then diverges, but the end these lines are being united again. Moreover, all this structure is in the circle of nature, which means that everything surrounds around nature. The last scene finishes in the water. Water symbolizes life and movement, desire to get freedom. Director gives the audience the feeling of tranquility at the end. Water is the motive of the film. Shuttle Island, it looks as a 5-act structure with points which increasing and decreasing during the whole film. The resolution is going after climax point. Even the resolution is the climax. The last shot shows the landscape where the audience sees the part of the island with an important element, the lighthouse. The director also finishes the film with a note of tranquility and with a shot of nature. It could represent the air of hope. Director makes the audience to feel some confidence for future.